Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This will be my first video in about 10 years. I've had a simple makeup look for a Fete in Trinidad and Tobago for Trinidad Carnival, the parties we have leading up to Carnival. Let's get into the video. Full product list will be in the description bar below. I will also put the names of all the IG or Facebook pages that I got the products from. So firstly, I use my LA Girl brow gel to fill in my brows using short strokes to first outline the brow and then fill in as I go, filling in the entire brow using short brush strokes to create a natural looking brow. I didn't want nothing too sculpted or contoured or anything like that. I made sure to use a brow gel that's as close as possible to my natural hair color, so I got a really natural looking brow, nothing too overdone. I prefer to use gel rather than pencil because you get the gel to last longer. The gel lasts longer, it doesn't melt in the heat or run on your face or anything like that. To fill in the brow, I use the angle side of the brush. This brush has two sides, the spoolie side and the short angle bristles. Use the angle side of the brush to outline and fill in the brow, and then you use the spoolie part of the brush to brush out any excess product and give a nice faded look to the beginning of the brow so it looks nice and natural. Up next, I decided I wanted a bronze look, so I used a bit of liquid highlighter. I have a sample bottle here from Shaded by Shonda. She's also a local cosmetic company now called Shaded. You can find them on Instagram. I will link their Instagram page below, and their liquid highlighters are so luxurious, guys, and gorgeous. Gives you a very nice glow. You can put it either under your foundation or on top of your foundation, and it gives you a really nice bronzed glow in the sunlight or even in artificial light. So just put 2 drops of liquid highlighter on each cheek, and I use a flat foundation brush to brush it into my skin in all the areas that I wanted, that I would normally highlight. Where I would highlight on top of my foundation, I put the liquid highlighter under the foundation. I put this on first before I put on my foundation and put it in those areas that I would normally highlight on top of my foundation to give me that nice bronzed glowy look. So I focus more to the center of my face. When the light naturally hits your face, it's more to the center of your face, so you would highlight those areas. I focused the liquid highlighter in those areas to give me the outcome I wanted, which would be a nice bronzed look. Next, I apply the LA Girl orange color corrector under the eyes and on those areas of my face that I have dark spots. It's not necessary to use a color corrector, but because I wanted a more flawless look, I decided to color correct my face and use the color corrector under your foundation to give you a nice even skin tone. And I use a flat foundation brush to blend out the color corrector. Next, I applied my liquid foundation, my L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade Hot Chocolate. I applied it with a wet beauty blender. This is just a generic brand beauty blender that I picked up in Pennywise. It's recommended that you apply foundation with a wet sponge or beauty blender. Gives you a more even application, as well as allows you to use much less product. Next, I apply my LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn under my eyebrows to shape my eyebrows, and the center of my face to highlight the center of my face and my forehead, down my nose, above my lips, and on my chin. I also apply it under my eyes to highlight the area under my eyes. I apply a little to the end of my eyebrow as well, just above the end of my eyebrow, just to shape and define the end of the brow, giving it some nice definition. When it comes to concealer, you don't want to apply a lot because you will be blending it out, and you want to choose a shade that's 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation. Here I'm just using a flat eye brush to define the brow and blend out the concealer under the brow, blending it onto the lid because we can use the concealer as well for eyelid primer. So we blend it all the way down the lid after defining the brow, and define the end of the brow as well above, making sure to blend it out completely so we don't get that halo brow look. I use the same brush as well to blend out the concealer on the forehead and down the center of the nose and under the eye. To blend out the concealer even more, I use a smaller beauty blender to blend the concealer into the foundation, blending out all the harsh lines and making sure it's nice and blended. Next, I apply the Sacha Buttercup setting powder under the eye. This does two things. It sets the concealer we placed under the eye, blended out, and it provides a barrier for any fallout in eyeshadow we may have when we are applying our eyeshadow later on. I applied a little bit of P. Louise eyeshadow base in the number 2 on my lids, just on the lid area, not all the way up to the brow, but just centering it more on the lid and in a tapping motion to blend it out. This is one of the best eyeshadow bases I have used in a very long time. It's really good. And it allows the eyeshadow colors to really pop and stays on much longer. For my eyeshadow, I use 2 colors from the Juvia Space palettes, the Nomad palette and the Warrior 2 palette. Those are 2 of my favorite palettes because I love neutrals, and those 2 palettes provide a lot of options as far as neutral colors. So I chose a color that is close to my skin tone, and I placed that color in the area of my eyelid that is just above my crease. I placed the color that is very close to my skin tone in a windshield wiper motion with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. Next, I added a color that was just a little bit deeper into the same area but closer to the crease to just warm up the crease and give it a little more definition. I'm so sorry that the lighting was not very good in this video. This is my first time trying to make a video using my ring lights and at this time of day. I usually make my videos at night so I don't have a lot of lighting issues, but the light coming in through the window was sort of affecting how the camera was picking up the images. I'm so sorry about that, guys, but I'll work on that for the next video. So I continue to blend that deeper eyeshadow shade into the crease, just to warm up and define the crease. Eyeshadow work is a lot of blending, guys. So once you choose your colors and you have your placement of your colors, you have to do a lot of blending. Most of the eyeshadow work is blending in the colors so that you get a nice seamless transition from one color to the next. Next, I used a dark brown, almost a chocolate brown shade of eyeshadow in the outer corner, the outer V of my eyes, blending that into the crease, using a smaller, more denser, fluffy eyeshadow brush. Once again, doing a lot of blending, circular motions and back and forth windshield wiper motions to blend all the colors together so that we don't have any harsh lines and we see a nice seamless transition from one shade of eyeshadow to the next. Using a deeper eyeshadow color on the outer corner of the eye gives definition back to the eye. So you use the deeper eyeshadow tones in the crease to define the eye, define the shape of the eye, define the crease. For the lid color, I used a bronze color from the Juvia Place, the Masquerade palette, using my index finger all over the lower lid, below the crease, blending it up into the crease. Now, brushes are good, but your hands and your fingers are much better, especially for applying eyeshadow to the lids. It allows you to get in a lot closer to your lash line, and your fingers are very good tools for blending eyeshadows together. Here I just went back in with just a little bit of product of that dark brown chocolate eyeshadow to blend out the crease a little bit more, blending the two colors for the lid and the crease together. Next, I applied a blue eyeshadow from the Carissa Channing Dessert palette, just to add a pop of color to what would be an otherwise completely neutral look. I placed the eyeshadow under the lash line using a small angle brush. Next, I applied liquid eyeliner using my NYX liquid eyeliner, creating a wing shape. It's not always as easy as it looks here to create a wing. I'll probably do a tutorial specifically on creating wing eyeliner in another video. I then use the Black Radiance Contour Palette in Deep to firstly warm up the perimeter of my face, just to balance out the glue I had going on in the center. And then I applied just a little bit of contour using the darkest shade. I would highly recommend this palette because on the cover of the palette it basically gives you instructions on how to use the shade. So if you're new to contouring or you're just not exactly sure of how you would contour your face, it gives you sort of a guide. To apply my lashes, first I apply a small amount of adhesive to my lids and allow it to get tacky. I apply a small amount of adhesive to the lash band as well, and what this does is it makes it much easier for the lash to go on and stay in position and not slide all over while you're trying to apply it. I leave the adhesive on both my lids and on the lash band to get tacky before I apply the lash directly to my lids. While the adhesive is drying, I apply my blush. This is the Sacha Cosmetics blush in the shade Claret. I absolutely love this blush. It's a shade I find that goes on well on any skin tone. Next, I apply my NK highlighter in the shade Sandstone to the cheekbones. In a sweeping motion, sweeping it up towards the hairline. Here you can see as well, placing a little bit just under the brow bone for continuity of color. I take just a little bit of the highlighter as well and place it down the center of my nose and towards the tip, a little bit on the tip and across the forehead, but very sparingly. I also place a little bit on my cupid's bow and on my chin. Just to really add to the glow. Next, I apply my lashes, and hopefully you can see here how easily the eyelash would adhere to my eye without me having to do too much to get it to stick. Just position it exactly where you want it and it will, almost like a magnet, stick onto your eyelid. I prefer to use my fingers and not a tweezer because with my fingers I can get really close and squeeze it into my natural lash. I just take a little bit of liquid eyeliner again and go over the lash band. The glue does dry clear, but just to conceal the lash line a bit, the lash band, a bit, I go over it with a little bit of liquid eyeliner. Here I took some gold eyeshadow, shimmer eyeshadow, and placed it on the inner corners of the eye. What that does, it really opens up the eye look and just to give it a nice finish. For lips, I used a lip liner, a brown lip liner, I think it's just a brown lip liner, and line the lower lip as well as the upper lip in the corners putting on more of the product on the corners than in the center, because what I will do is an ombre lip. So I want a lot more of that a lot more of that color to the corners than in the center. Then I apply my Sacha Mini Lip Velvet. These lipsticks do not have names. They had colors, but I can't remember numbers. Sorry, but I can't remember which number this was. So this is a Sacha Mini Lip Velvet from the last collection, the limited edition collection that they released in 2019. I use this to create an umbrella lip, putting the lipstick more to the center of the lip and placing my lips together to melt the colors together. Just adding a little bit more of the highlight to the Cupid's bow. Some got lost when I put on lipstick. Last but not least, I added a little bit of mascara to my lower lash line, being careful not to remove any of the blue eyeshadow, gently rubbing it against the lower lash line to really define the lower lashes. And there you have it. That's the look. A simple, bronzy, glowy, fat look with a pop of color. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And thank you very much for watching.